Alright y'all, so today I'm going to be talking about preventative maintenance. The little things that I do to help me keep myself ahead, and so that the little things don't turn into really big things that I got to deal with later. Come on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright y'all, so I got this down here. These are all the little weeds that's been popping up. And I got this tool that I made, and I can just come through here and just kind of erase these weeds. Literally erase the weeds. It works real good. But the reason why I'm doing it whenever they're all this small is so that it's not as hard to do it, because you let that plant get up real big and then it's just a bigger problem than it is right now. Doing it whenever they're this small, it's just a lot easier than having to wait and deal with it later. And now, a word from our sponsor. Alright y'all, this is the Weedinator 9000.
9,000?
That is right, 9,000. Do you know why it's 9,000?
Tell me.
Because it can kill 9,000 weeds in about 9 seconds. You want to see it? Alright, let's go. Observe as the Weedinator 9000 just glides right through the garden, annihilating all the weeds within its path. Alright folks, I'll tell you what. This is a quality tool made right here in the USA. It's got a high carbon cedar handle with a gopher blade. And it's galvanized. Another thing that I do to help with the preventative maintenance and to help me stay on top of things is pruning my tomato plants. This is an example of a well-pruned tomato plant. Notice that none of the leaves are touching the soil. Alright, so what we got here is a good example of a poorly pruned tomato plant. What's happening is that these leaves here are touching the ground. We don't want that because that promotes fungus and disease in the plant. So we want to try and get rid of these guys. We've got a special place for this little sucker. Alright, so whenever pruning your tomato plants, you're bound to come across this thing that's known as a sucker. What a sucker is this guy. And how to find your suckers is you got your main stem of the plant right here, and then you got just a regular limb. And the suckers, they tend to grow right here in the armpit or the crotch, whichever you want to call it, of the plants. You don't want these in there because they can rob your plant of life. So I'm going to show y'all what I do with these. Alright y'all, so suckers are the best bad thing that's ever happened to a tomato plant. Reason being is because you can take these little suckers, snip their limbs off all the way up until the top. You don't want to cut the top off of the plant because then the plant will die. You can take it down here at the bottom, cut you a steep angle, and you come over here to the dirt, and then you can plant it. And now that is called a cloned tomato. That tomato will grow up and make more tomatoes. It's always a good idea to have more tomatoes. I'll usually have a little bit of rooting hormone that I'll take and rub on the bottom of the plant and around the sides of the plant, just kind of dip it in there. But I don't know where it's at. I'm not going to go look for it. It's not going to get put on the plants. This is a good way to turn your problems into solutions. Plant has a problem on it, turn it into another plant. This plant will get suckers and now it'll know how it feels. Yeah. That's a whole tray of tomatoes. And also a lot of chicken food. Chickens! Train your chickens. Alright y'all, so I'm going to take y'all back here in the woods and show y'all something else that I do to help keep myself ahead on the farm. It's kind of along the same lines as the tomato stuff, but come on and I'll show you. These here are the little guys that I'm talking about. Right now, I can just walk up. He's gone. He's dead. He's done. But if I wait, they're going to grow up. If they grow up, they become a real problem. You don't want them to grow up. If they grow up, they turn woody. The stems of them will turn all woody, because like right now, the whole stem of them is still green, and they snap real easy and they're easy to pull off. Once they turn all woody, I have to come back here with the saw, cut them all off like I did last year. It would take me hours and hours and days and probably a few weeks, to be honest. So if I just come in here and I get them all now, it won't be an issue. Now, I got a lot of stumps because I cut down a lot of trees, and a lot of these stumps are trying to come back. And what I can do is I can just pull these little dudes off. That one almost went too far. You can see where the stems are trying to get woody. Just like the limbs on the trees, if you let them get woody, you got to come back here with a saw. But if I just hop on these dudes now, it ain't no issue. I can just come around here and pull them whenever I'm out here walking around, relaxing on my brakes, and that ain't no issue. Not only am I just killing the regrowth of the stump, I'm also pulling these off of here and then setting them back on top of the stumps. And also, whenever I see little trees like that, I pull them up too. But the reason why I'm doing that is because it mulches the stump and helps prevent more stuff from coming back around the stump. Hopefully. Alright y'all, so something else that I do whenever I'm back here goofing off in my little favorite spot is whenever I see these white rocks, like this one here. As long as they're not buried in the dirt. That one's buried in the dirt, so I'm going to leave it. But usually, I'll pick those up and then toss them with a bunch of other ones like those two over there. And the reason why I do that is because they're useful. I can use them for all sorts of stuff. Mainly lining my garden beds and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I do whenever I'm back here. Next time I cruise through here on my hot rod, I'll be sure to pick these bad boys up. Alright y'all, this is a greenbrier plant, and I've learned to love to hate these plants. I hate it because you walk into it and it hurts because it's got thorns all over it. And I love it because this is how you kill it. You get to eat it. Alright y'all, so I guess the point that I've been trying to make this whole video is that if you got a problem, fix it now so that it don't become a bigger problem later, and then it'll be even harder to fix. Taking care of these problems now whenever they're small is a lot easier than having to deal with them whenever they're a lot bigger problems. But I'm going to see y'all later, and I'm going to get out of this rain. I'm going inside.